Is the world on track for net zero by 2050? Or cut emissions in half by 2030? Decarbonization needs to speed up worldwide, 10 times faster in the U.S., says McKinsey Research. Learn how businesses can lead the way at mckinsey.com/zero.
Hey parents, it's Mr. Jim here. This back-to-school season, give your kids the tools they need to have fun while they learn with Osmo. Osmo's Reading Adventure Learn to Read game is an interactive tool for kids 5 to 7 that help them practice and develop reading fundamentals. Because it's never too early to fall in love with reading. Visit playosmo.com to check out the Reading Adventure new reader kit today. That's playosmo.com. Osmo. Learning well played. Hey parents, we all know that feeling of heading back to school, right? That exciting time for new pencils and fresh starts. But what about fresh lunch ideas? Boar's Head has been going back to school for over 115 years, so they know all about packing the perfect lunchbox with uncompromising quality and all-time family favorites like Ever Roast, oven roasted chicken breast, maple glazed honey-coated ham, and American cheese. Boar's Head makes packing lunch easy and delicious. Look for Boar's Head at your local deli counter and learn more at boarshead.com/back-to-school. Boar's Head, compromise elsewhere. Hello friends, it's Mr. Jim and welcome back to Kid Short Stories. Right now, I need to make sure that you have smashed the follow button. If you don't know where that is, ask your parents, and there's that plus sign or follow button so that you don't miss out on any of our awesome stories. We come up with stories every single day from your ideas. Well, today's idea comes to us from Zara and Micah. Are you guys ready for an amazing adventure of saving the crown of the Queen of England? Me too, let's go! Our story begins way high up in the clouds. And behind all those clouds was a very large purple blimp.
Oh boy, the boss is gonna love this idea,
said Professor Sticky Fingers.
Hey boss, come over here, look at this.
What is it, Professor? It better be good.
Hey guys, what's going on over here?
Purple ninjas. Professor Sticky Fingers seems to have been working on something very important.
Just then, Professor Sticky Fingers dropped a giant black bag in the middle of the table and said,
Oh boy, you guys better check this out. Let me open it up and show ya.
He opened up the black bag, and inside was a large bucket. Kind of looked like a big paint bucket, but it was not paint inside.
You see this thing? This is one of my sneakiest and stickiest of slime recipes in the whole wide world. If I just pull it out like this, watch.
It was disgusting. He put his hands inside of that slime bucket, and as he pulled it out, it looked like a giant, disgusting booger. It was gross. It was yellow and green, and it made a really squishy sound. And as he pulled it out, he described what he planned to do with this.
You see, I've fabricated this slime to be able to steal stuff without us even leaving the purple blimp. Check this out.
As he held the slime over the edge of the table, it dripped down, but it didn't drop off. It was all connected into one giant slime string. And as it fell onto the ground, it fell onto a piece of paper.
Watch this. I can pull it right back up.
And he pulled the slime string back up, and it held onto the paper.
That is wonderful, Professor. I think that could be used for something I've always wanted to steal. All right, purple ninjas, let's direct our purple blimp and head straight for the castle in England.
Zara and Micah were on a sailing trip on the real ocean. They were amazing sailors. Have you ever seen a sailboat before? It's a pretty amazing boat. It has a ginormous sail, and that's what is like the motor that moves the boat. But wait a second, a sail? That's just like a big piece of fabric, right, that holds high over a boat. But what is it that actually helps move the boat? Oh, yes, wind. So the sail collects and uses the wind's energy to push the boat along in the ocean. Zara and Micah, they were both experts at sailing their ginormous, awesome boat. Micah, grab those ropes over there. Tie it down, screamed Zara. They had to maneuver and work together to get the sail in the right direction. There was a lot of work to do when driving a sailboat. All right, I'm tying it off. As soon as Micah tied it off, they got blasted in the face with a giant spray of water from a big wave. Ugh, I'm soaked. Me too. All right, we should be good for a little while. Let's go dry off inside. They walked inside under the deck of the sailboat to dry off and check the navigation. They were right off the coast of England, sailing around next to some old castles. And today was actually a pretty big day for England. The Queen of England was actually visiting all these ancient old castles. It was a special day every year when she went to go visit and see the history of England. That was one of the reasons that Zara and Micah wanted to go sailing today, is because they were hoping at catching a glimpse of the Queen. All right. Hey, Micah, yeah, I think we're in a pretty good spot, said Zara. We should anchor down right here and get our binoculars. I'm on it, said Micah, who ran over to the button to drop the anchor. And that is when they heard the sound. Those are the trumpets! We gotta grab our binoculars! Hurry! Shouted Micah. The sound of that trumpet meant that the Queen was very nearby, and it was time. They raced over to all their spy gear and found their binoculars buried down at the bottom. They put them up to their eyes and looked out the window of their sailboat. All right, I see a lot of people. I don't see the Queen yet, said Micah. Me neither. Just a lot of people, said Zara. They were right. The whole hillside was full of thousands of people who were waiting for the Queen to arrive. Wait a second. What was that? Zara turned the binoculars up towards the clouds. Did you see that? I really think I saw something purple in the clouds. Are you kidding me? Said Micah. And unfortunately, they were right. Up above the clouds, directly over where the Queen was standing, was the purple blimp. Dr. Stinky Breath's stinky lab. They both focused their binoculars onto the area, and there it was. Oh, I see it, said Zara. Me too, said Micah. But then they saw something strange start to drop out of the window. Wait a second. What is that? They were watching as a greenish, yellow string-looking thing was slowly lowering down from the purple blimp right to where the Queen is. What are we gonna do? Shouted Zara. They're probably trying to steal the Queen. We gotta save her. They both reached for their jetpacks and threw them on over their back and blasted off, leaving their sailboat behind in the ocean. But it was too late. Off in the distance, they could see the crown of the Queen stuck onto that sticky rope as it was being pulled back into the stinky blimp. Oh no! It looks like Dr. Stinky Breath and his crew have just stolen the crown of the Queen of England. This is a seriously big deal. Are Zara and Micah going to be able to save the Queen and her crown? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens on the next episode of Kids Short Stories.
Is the world on track to reach net zero by 2050? What about cutting emissions in half by 2030? These deadlines are coming up faster than most think. Maybe because they feel so far away, and there are so many short-term challenges, we're not yet seeing the scale of action necessary. McKinsey estimates that decarbonization will need to go twice as fast to meet EU goals and 10 times faster to meet U.S. targets. How can businesses lead the way? Find out at mckinsey.com/0.
Hey parents, it's Mr. Jim here. This back-to-school season, give your kids the tools they need to have fun while they learn with Osmo. Osmo's Reading Adventure Learn to Read game is an interactive tool aimed at children ages 5 to 7 that help them practice and develop reading fundamentals, turning them into young, confident, skilled readers, because it's never too early to fall in love with reading. Watching our youngest play with Reading Adventure this summer, I can see how much more ready he is for when kindergarten is starting very, very soon. Visit playosmo.com to check out the Reading Adventure new reader kit today. That's playosmo.com. Osmo, learning well played. Visit playosmo.com to check out the Reading Adventure new reader kit today. Hey parents, as summer comes to an end, we all start to get that back to school feeling, right? It's an exciting time for new pencils and fresh starts, but what about fresh lunch ideas? Boar's Head has been going back to school for over 115 years. Holy smokes! So they know a thing or two about packing the perfect lunchbox. With the flavors your kids love and the uncompromising quality you expect, Boar's Head will help you make lunchtime easy and above all, delicious. And with all-time family favorites like Ever Roast oven roasted chicken breast, maple glazed honey-coated ham and American cheese, Boar's Head is the perfect way to craft school lunch with love. Ask for Boar's Head at your local deli counter or save time with their variety of pre-sliced options for a quality back-to-school lunch experience. Learn more at boarshead.com/back-to-school. Boar's Head, compromise elsewhere. Great job, you listened all the way to the end, and you know what time it is. It's time for Kid Shoutouts. I want to say hey to Caleb from Mississippi, George, Freddie, and Tommy from New Zealand, Ethan from Maine, Hudson from California, Leighton from Colorado, Kien and Mila from Calgary, and Easton from Idaho. I'm so glad that you are all on the Kid Short Stories family and on our spy team. We could not stop Dr. Stinky Breath and his crew without you, my friends. Well, you have a super duper day, and I will see you on our next adventure. Bye! Hey parents, it's Mr. Jim here. This back to school season, give your kids the tools they need to have fun while they learn with Osmo. Osmo's Reading Adventure Learn to Read game is an interactive tool for kids 5 to 7 that help them practice and develop reading fundamentals. Because it's never too early to fall in love with reading, visit playosmo.com to check out the Reading Adventure new reader kit today. That's playosmo.com. Osmo, learning well played. Hey parents, we all know that feeling of heading back to school, right? That exciting time for new pencils and fresh starts. But what about fresh lunch ideas? Boar's Head has been going back to school for over 115 years, so they know all about packing the perfect lunchbox with uncompromising quality and all-time family favorites like Ever Roast oven roasted chicken breast, maple glazed honey-coated ham and American cheese. Boar's Head makes packing lunch easy and delicious. Look for Boar's Head at your local deli counter and learn more at boarshead.com/back-to-school. Boar's Head, compromise elsewhere.